at my house smoking on the couch, and I hear a knock on the door, and I hear Anthony, and my neighbor's name was Anthony. So I think it's my neighbor, knocking on my door, right? And so I'm like, yeah, come on in. So they open the door, and it's a couple of sheriffs, and they come walking in. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, well, come on in, man. And so they come walking in, they kind of like start looking around. I got like a 4-footer water pipe, you want to call it, or whatever, laid up against the couch. I got like a smaller one on the table, and there's like a big joint burning on the ashtray. And I'm just like, and they're like, yeah. They were like, you were here, you have a dog? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, they were like, we're here to arrest you for animal cruelty. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, we just got your dog. Your dog was brought in. Apparently he was involved in a car accident like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, yeah. I was like, as you can see, I was like, I was in the hospital. I was like, I just got out of the hospital. I had the paperwork right there. I was like, I just got out of the hospital.
Was the dog hurt?
So I guess apparently he had his jaw. I don't know. He had something wrong with his jaw. I don't know exactly what it was, but so I had gotten out of the hospital and didn't know where my dog was. So I'm calling around trying to find my dog. It takes me about a day to find my dog. So he's at one of the kennels in the city. So find out where he's at. And then I have my buddy Paul. My buddy Paul goes and picks up my dog from the kennel place and takes the dog to the vet. This was one day I'm out of the hospital. Picks up the dog, see there's something wrong with his jaw, takes him to the vet. And so we're like, okay, cool. That's where it was like left at. And I guess he was at the vet for a few days, and they didn't know that I was in the hospital. And so they had figured the original car accident date was a couple weeks prior. That's why they called. So I show them all the paperwork, and they're like, okay, we're going to arrest you, but I can see that it was like you're in the hospital, then you find him, but you're still going to have to go to court. So I end up going to court a few weeks later. I show them the paperwork, and they were like, okay, we'll come back in 3 weeks, we'll settle this. Okay. Go back to court 3 weeks later, and they call the case, and I kind of show them. I'm like, hey, like I'm in the hospital. I'm out a day. I find him the next day, and he's at the vet the next day. Like,
Right.
what's up? Where's my dog at? And the dude in the pews behind me, he's like, hey, if they have a pit bull or a Rottweiler longer than like a couple of weeks, they put him to sleep. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, are you kidding me? And like I'm here. I'm like, so did you guys put my dog to sleep? I'm sitting here in court. I'm sitting here fighting my case, and before I can prove that I'm innocent, you guys are going to put my dog to sleep?
Right.
I was like, how hypocritical is that, man? Like, that's what's wrong with your guys' system. I start talking shit to the judge, and he starts banging his gavel. He's like, get out of here before I hold you in contempt. Da, 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 da. I just started letting him have it, man. But my buddy that was there kind of helped remove me.